Hey guys, Tamashi here. So I know it's been a little while. Y'all don't know me. I understand that. But I just want to know that I'm still going to be posting videos. It's been probably close to a month now since my first one, but I'm trying to make sure that I get this right. I didn't really know what to talk about in this video, but I did have a random thought I kind of just wanted to let you guys know about. And that random thought was actually nostalgia. Like, it's one of those things that really keeps me up at night every single time I try and go to sleep and be a responsible adult the next day. Like, I got a 4 a.m. shift and I'm talking about this right now in the middle of the night. And it sucks. Don't get me wrong. Like, it sucks because, I got to get that bread. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I wish I could go back to these simpler times. And it just made me think, I was like, wait, what brings your past to life? Is it games, a song, an experience? Like, what kind of feelings does that bring you whenever you're trying to go to sleep and it keeps you up at night? And that really pisses me off because I'm trying to be a responsible adult and show up to my 4 a.m. shift the next day, but I just can't because it just keeps me up. And now it's like 12 a.m. and I'm like, dude, I can't go to sleep now. I got to do something about it. And I'm telling you, man, that 2 a.m. motivation really hits different. But, anyways, I digress. So let's go ahead and start with video games because video games are just one of those fascinating pieces of media that just really brings you back in time. Me personally, I feel like they kind of resurrect entire versions of you and brings you back to the past, to a time where you were sitting and stuck in time at a certain point in your life. Doesn't matter when, it could have been 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You remember exactly where you were. But one of the reasons why I bring this up is because looking at it now as an adult, you boot up these old games and you try and play them and try and get that sense of wonder you had as a kid. You're like, oh my gosh, I have so many responsibilities now. You feel like a kid who just got home from school and dropped their backpack and just went to their room and just started playing video games, but you just get that sense of reality that hits you in the freaking face like a truck. And that is really depressing, honestly. And here's the thing too. Back then, these games, they weren't considered retro, depending on the games you were playing, obviously. At the time, it was most likely the future. And now you go back and these graphics look dated, and it just makes you feel like, damn, I'm old as hell. And now you replay it and you're saying to yourself, okay, this looks awful, but emotionally, you just get transported back in time. And I'll be honest with you, games don't really ask for permission to bring you back to the past. They just sort of load it, if you know what I mean. And that's honestly a really great experience to just jump back into a certain point in your life and just replay whatever walkthrough you were doing at the time. Me personally, the game I was really focused on back in the day was Oblivion. Now that was really my first Elder Scrolls game. When I had my Xbox 360, I remember it was my first ever RPG, and I had a feeling I loved this game when I first bought it. And I'm gonna be honest, when I first had it, I had no idea what in the world I was doing because it was my first introduction to RPGs in general. And whenever I saw the entire world and I booted into the game and I could walk all the way across this pond or lake or explore the city, I was like, oh my gosh. And honestly, to this day, still haven't finished it, but don't spoil it though. But music, oh my goodness, music. I feel like it's even worse, man, because music doesn't care if you're ready. You could be driving, you could be buying groceries, you could be living a perfectly stable adult life with amazing mental health, and that thing will hit you not with just one truck, but multiple, and it'll back up and reverse and also hit you more than one time, bro. And that's one of the things, me personally, and I keep saying this, but I feel like music is one of those things that definitely has one of those time traveling type vibes to them because you could be listening anywhere and it'll definitely bring you back. One of my favorite songs would definitely have to be Up on Melancholy Hill by the Gorillaz. And if you haven't noticed already, I got one of my caricatures literally modeled after Tootie. So take that as you will. But I personally remember when I was a kid growing up in middle school, listening to this song a summer before going into high school. the sunset was about to hit, and it just hit different when you were literally staring at a screen all day playing video games on your computer, and the sun just hits you, and it just seems like the perfect day. And growing up as a kid, especially when you've got all this time on your hands, all this type of music that comes up, especially in the early days of YouTube, just hits different. And I know I'm probably an unk for saying this, but man, they don't make it like they used to. Music isn't the same anymore. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the last one. And this one's definitely a little bit more personal, and everyone's experience is probably different. And it definitely differs from person to person. But as far as it goes, music or games, sure, those are great. But experiences like a freaking phantom smell that brings you back to like kindergarten, that's something. Or if you walk through a place that feels familiar for no reason, it could be a mall or a store or a street that you walked through as a kid with your parents or your sister, your siblings, doesn't matter. It just brings you back and it activates something in your brain. And here's the thing, your brain's like, oh yeah, something important happened here. I want to explain it, but I'm gonna enjoy this sadness type shit. But here's the wild thing, you don't always really miss the moment. You miss how simple everything felt. And when you're growing up, everything does feel very simple. And everything feels like it's moving by the way you want it to. But as you get older and older, time seems to slow down. But here's the thing, back then, life wasn't really easier as it is now. I would say it's probably about the same, if not a little bit worse, depending on the technology. But you just didn't know as much. You didn't know about business analytics. You didn't know about IT. You didn't know about cybersecurity. You didn't know about anything related to your career goals or whatever. It just went by and you just didn't care. Everything was just in the present. And now, presence, in my opinion, kind of feels very rare. Everyone nowadays is always on their phone. They're always looking to get the next click. They're always focused on trying to get the next hype, and they don't really focus on what matters now. And everyone's trying to record the present, but no one's trying to live it. And honestly, that's even more depressing. But yeah, guys, comment below and let me know what you guys think about nostalgia. Let me know what kind of memories y'all had when growing up or even up until now recently. I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts. Definitely give me some song and video game recommendations though. I'd love to hear it because I feel like I'm always down to listen to some new music or play some new video games. But anyways, I'll leave it here for now. Give this video a like if you liked it and subscribe if you didn't. Hehe.
I'm the one that introduced you to the you right now. Oh my God.